Hiya there, it's me again, Jules Brown. Welcome to Off the Cuff Reviews. Today I'm going to be releasing the 1982 Laurie Anderson album, back there, Big Science. This album was made, it was like almost like a compilation, really, highlights of an 8-hour production called United States Live. Um, and that album in itself didn't properly come out till 1984. So it was a bit of a compilation of an album that never actually had that time had actually come out. Um, of course, it has the big UK number 2 single, "Oh Superman," on this album, which came out as a single in October in 1981, the year before. More of that to follow. This album was produced by Laurie Anderson and Roma Barron, who worked together on a lot of material. I should mention the other engineers who are involved as well, because this album is so important. It's not got too many people involved, but I think they're all important people to mention. The assistant producer was Perry Hoberman, and the engineer was Leanne Ungar. But it was produced by Laurie and Roma Barron. The opening track. Oh yeah, let me tell you about how I personally got to know about Laurie Anderson. In my formative years, as a fairly impressionable young soul of about 13 years, merely 13 or 14 years of this earth, I was into certain bands that were British pop bands around at that time, new wave, certain new romantic bands. Cut the crap. I listened to what people said, like people like Nick Rhodes, and maybe Nick was had the most discerning taste of the members of Duran, and he's in his interviews and whatnot, he introduced me to quite a lot of good music, including Laurie Anderson, reiterating his interest also in Talking Heads, which got me into Talking Heads as well. So that was it. I was very young. I didn't buy Big Science in the year it came out in 1982. I started to listen to Laurie Anderson properly in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. So maybe I bought this album in about 86 probably, or 85 probably, 85. That makes sense. Anyway, the opening track, "From the Air." This is your captain. We're going down. We're all going down together. This is a great opening track, staccato drum beat, and this sax, trademark Laurie Anderson synth sound. Just quite a gloom-laden track to start off the album, but really beautifully executed with this, as I say, staccato drums and sax to the fore. Track number two, "Big Science." This, to me, is Laurie kind of questioning progress, maybe questioning science to a certain degree, questioning Western philosophy, Western capitalism, Western society. Every man for himself, as the lyric goes. Thanks for the ride. And another deep, beautiful track is "Big Science," with its roto toms, and it's just a nice track. "Don't Forget Your Mittens." Track number 3 is called "Sweaters." This is a change in style for the album. Starts off quite understated, and then we go into track number 3, which is strange start with what sounds like a baby crying and bagpipes going off, some interpretive drumming by David Van Time, who features quite a lot on this album. Generally know him as a percussionist, but he's more like percussion, what he does really on this track and on the album in general. That sets another tone. We go on to track number 4, Walking and Falling. This is, for me, when the album starts to get beautiful, a bit special. And the Laurie Anderson narrative and electronics really down in the mix. Very atmospheric number. Little to no percussion, just a few noises in the background, which just is just really beautiful. With the lyrics going on. I wanted you and I was looking for you, but I couldn't find you. I wanted you and I was looking for you all day, but I couldn't find you. I couldn't find you. You're walking and you don't always realize it, but you're always falling with each step. You fall forward slightly and then catch yourself from falling. Over and over, you're falling and then catching yourself from falling. And this is how you can be walking and falling at the same time. Beautiful. And then that one goes into another beautiful number called Born Never Asked, which is Laurie's violin to the fore. These hand claps going on in the simple hand claps, no digital quantizing needed there, I don't think, just simple hand claps. Simple marimba played by David Van Time. There is this glorious session player. People pay lots of money to get him in, but he's been very disciplined. Laurie's probably got him down to be disciplined and just play the very minimal to make this song what it is, which is another beautiful thing. Almost like a metronomic beat with these hand claps going on. So in side 1, side 2 starts with the stunning "Oh Superman." Here come the planes, indeed. These electronics, the vocoder on Laurie's voice, Roma Barron's Farfisa and Casio keyboard, and the also Perry, the assistant producer Perry Hoberman, plays flute and sax on this number. The sax is very quite minimal, isn't it? But the flute is there, and Laurie's talking to Mom, and we think, who is this Mom? His Mom, the state is Mom. Her Mom is Mom, some sort of spiritual being, perhaps. But it's her mom with the petrochemical arms, and these bird sounds that come in throughout the track every now and again. This song got to number 2 in the UK charts. I mean, how incredible is that? What kept it off number 1? I was going to look up in my book, but I just didn't want to bother really, so because I know it would hurt. It would hurt me. But the song was only I think it was only in the charts for 6 weeks, but it isn't long, is it? So that's interesting. And then it goes into, after "Oh Superman," it goes into "Example," a track called "Example," with this German spoken narrative done by other people. Example 22, in fact, it's called. Who Laurie refers to as the paranormals, who do all the German voices in this track. Lots of brass. It's almost got this calypso feel to it. It's almost like a carnival feel. Bassoon and sax and clarinets and accordion in there. An interesting mix to it all. And then we go into the final 2 songs on the album merge into each other quite amazingly, seamlessly, beautifully. Let X equal X. Hand claps again. Marimba, this time played by Laurie. Very simple again. The most simple marimba playing on the two songs on this album. I think even the likes of you and I could manage that, but that's not the point. The fact is that they did it and we didn't. Trombones, just a really beautiful understated song, but then it gets even more, I would say, understated when it fades, or fade, it just seamlessly goes into the last track on the album called It Tango. The hand claps continue, just really low in the mix, almost like you don't notice them. Employs the OBXA Oberheim vintage synth, does Laurie, on this song, and I'm not sure if that synth was around for much more in the 80s. I think it's one of those things that was used over a very short period, perhaps from about 1978, 79 to about 82, and then other synths came along, like sequential circuits and the Prophet 5 and the Jupiter and the Juno 60. I think those sort of things took over, didn't they? Synth geeks. And they say the track ends on hand claps and the roto drums, roto toms, by David Van Tine. And the whole album is, I would say, a masterpiece. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I love it. I find it quite emotional to listen to. So beautiful. So there you go. That's Big Science by Laurie Anderson. Released in, was it April? Sorry, April 82. Just checking. That'll do, won't it? April 82. Wonderful album. You can't go wrong with Laurie Anderson, really, but start at the beginning. Start with this album. One of her best. Big Science. And thanks for listening. I'm Jules Brown. You've been listening to OTCR, Off the Cuff Reviews. If you'd like to subscribe, just click the subscribe button if you're able to. If you've got a YouTube channel, that'd be fantastic. If you want to make a comment, do so. And that'd be lovely to hear from you. And thanks for listening. I'm going to retire to Bedlam now. And actually, no, I'm going to retire for maybe a well-earned Sunday evening cup of tea and watching The House of Elliot. Yes. Anyway, I hope you're all well and coping in this sorry state of affair. But anyway, let's hope things are going to brighten up in the world from now on. Okay, thanks for listening. Quit my yakking. Signing off. Bye-bye. Yeah.